Hello and welcome to ATF TV. I'm Christine Joe reporting from London. We are joined again by international corporate lawyer Santosh Pai to talk about India's foreign direct investment policy. Santosh, welcome back to ATF TV.
Thank you, Christine.
Santosh, can we pick your brain on India's foreign direct investment policy, or FDI? What is it and how is it working?
Well, India's foreign direct investment policy has been focused on liberalizing various sectors and opening them up for foreign investment. But after 30 years, it certainly looks like just liberalizing and opening up these sectors is not sufficient. They're necessary, but not sufficient to attract the much needed investments. So in the view of COVID-19 pandemic and the US-China trade war, India is making a much more focused attempt to attract FDI. And this entails a revisit to the FDI policy and introducing much needed nuance.
From what I understand, India is trying to position itself as an alternative manufacturing destination, essentially as an alternative to China. Do you think this is working?
Not yet. This has been the first year where this attempt has been tried. And so far, India has announced some production-linked incentives to promote FDI in the manufacturing sector. But there's much more work need to be done. For instance, special economic zones in India, although they have existed for more than 10, 15 years, they have not really successful in attracting the manufacturing investments.
Recently, China introduced some new measures to increase foreign trade. Can you briefly shed some light on this?
So India has stayed out of RCEP, and this is a major deterrent for FDI coming into India because most foreign investors look at any manufacturing destination as a global hub from where they can export to pretty much any part of the world. So India's decision to stay away from RCEP has been a setback in this direction, while China, although it has received a lot of backlash in view of the pandemic, has successfully brought together about 18 countries to form a large free trade area, which will, of course, continue to support FDI going into China.
In terms of FDI policy, what advantages do you think China has that India doesn't, and vice versa?
Well, China has had the advantage of focusing exclusively on FDI for a long period. In fact, in preference to domestic companies, it's only in the last 10 years that China has started treating domestic companies on par with foreign investors. This is an advantage India simply does not have because India offers national treatment for all companies, whether they're foreign owned or domestic owned. It cannot differentiate between the two. And this is a disadvantage when it comes to attracting FDI. The second big disadvantage that India has is it cannot incentivize local governments and bureaucrats who are involved in attracting FDI. But China has done this very successfully, and bureaucrats in China actually get promotions if they're successful in attracting FDI.
Is there any advantages the other way around, with India having some advantages over China?
Of course, India has its own advantages. It's a democracy to begin with. It has an independent judiciary, which theoretically should offer remedy to any kind of disputes. But the potential of the domestic market is still at a nascent stage. So as India grows, it will definitely present a much more attractive opportunity for foreign companies looking to get market share. Because unlike China, China is already saturated, and although it's making more efforts to reignite its domestic market, India has far more headroom for growth because the purchasing power in India is still much lower than China.
As you know, we are about to see a change in the White House. Could this change the trade relationship between India and China?
Well, this is a very good question because it is widely expected that the new incoming Biden administration will ease the pressure on China after 4-5 years of Trump administration putting severe pressure on China through the trade war and technology sanctions and so on. I think a couple of days ago, China introduced its own internet ban on a number of applications from the West. So, how will India benefit? It's not really clear, because China might be emboldened to kind of reinforce its domination in Asia. So, India will have to compete much more with China if the Biden administration goes soft on China.
Santosh, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Christine.
And thank you all for watching. To read Santosh's article and many others like them, please check out asiatimesfinancial.com for the world's best news on Asian markets, economies, and more. I'm Christine Zhou, and you are watching ATF TV.